Shalom and good morning. Today we're going to start reading Exodus chapter 1. And these are the names of the children of Israel who came to Mitzrayim with Jacob, each one with his household: Reuben, Shimon, Levi, and Yehudah, Yishakar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. And all those who were descendants of Jacob were 70 beings, as Joseph was already in Mitzrayim. And Joseph died, and all his brothers, in all that generation. And the children of Yisrael were fruitful and increased very much, multiplied and became very strong, and the land was filled with them. Then a new sovereign arose over Mitzrayim who did not know Joseph. And he said to his people, "See, the people of the children of Yisrael are more and stronger than we. Come, let us act wisely towards them, lest they increase, and it shall be, when fighting befalls us, that they shall join our enemies and fight against us, and shall go up out of the land." So they set slave masters over them to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh supply cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they increased and grew, and they were in dread of the children of Yisrael. And the Mizrahites made the children of Yisrael serve with harshness, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, in all kinds of work in the field. All their work which they made them do was with harshness. Then the sovereign of Mitzrayim spoke to the Hebrew midwives, of whom the name of one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, "When you deliver the Hebrew women and see them on the birth stools, if it is a son, then you shall put him to death, but if it is a daughter, then she shall live." But the midwives feared Yahu'ah and did not do as the sovereign of Mitzrayim commanded them, and kept the male children alive. So the sovereign of Mitzrayim called for the midwives and said to them, "Why have you done this, and kept the male children alive?" And the midwives said to Pharaoh, "Because the Hebrew women are not like the Mitzrayim women, for they are lively and give birth before the midwives come to them." So Yahu'ah was good to the midwives, and the people increased and became very numerous. And it came to be, because the midwives feared Yahu'ah, that he provided households for them. And Pharaoh commanded all his people, saying, "Throw every son who is born into the river, and keep alive every daughter." Exodus chapter 2. And a man of the house of Levi went and married a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bore a son, and she saw that he was a lovely child. And she hid him 3 months. And when she could hide him no longer, she took an ark of wicker for him, and coated it with tar and pitch, and put the child in it, and laid it in the reeds by the edge of the river. And see, his sister stood at a distance to know what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her young women were walking by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent her female servant to get it, and opened it and saw the child, and see, the baby wept. So she had compassion on him and said, "This is one of the children of the Hebrews." And his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call a nurse for you from the Hebrew women to nurse the child for you? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Go. And the young woman went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Take this child away and nurse him for me, then I shall pay your wages. So the woman took the child and nursed him. And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Masha, saying, Because I have drawn him out of the water. And in those days it came to be, when Masha was grown, that he went out to his brothers and looked at their burdens. And he saw a Midian striking a Hebrew, one of his brothers. So he turned this way and that way, and when he saw no one, he struck the Midian and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day and saw 2 Hebrew men fighting, and he said to the other one who did the wrong, Why do you strike your neighbor? And he said, Who made you a head and judge over us? Did you intend to kill me as you killed the Midian? And Masha feared and said, Truly the matter is known. And Pharaoh heard of this matter, and he sought to kill Masha. But Masha fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. And the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and they filled their troughs to water their father's flock. But the shepherds came and drove them away. Then Masha stood up and came to their rescue, and watered their flock. And they came to Ruel, their father, and he said, How is it that you have come so soon today? And they said, A Midian rescued us from hand of the shepherds, and he also drew enough water for us and watered the flock. And he said to his daughters, And where is he? Why did you leave the man? Call him and let him eat bread. And Masha agreed to dwell with the man, and he gave Zipporah his daughter to Masha. And she bore him a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have become a sojourner in a foreign land. And it came to be after these many days that the sovereign of Midian died, and the children of Israel groaned because of the slavery, and they cried out, and their cry came up to Yahu'ah because of the slavery. And Yahu'ah heard their groaning, and Yahu'ah remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Ishak, and with Jacob. And Yahu'ah looked on the children of Israel, and Yahu'ah knew.